everybody, it's Malia, aka Dixie Rocker, and I have started this channel for the purposes of discussing all things horror. And I have with me my two favorite sidekicks, Tiffany and Jeremy, and they're going to help me out with the discussions because that's what we do. We watch horror all the time. Any kind of horror, bad, good, everything in between. We've seen it.
And then we talk about it.
So we just decided we'd start a channel and do it so that you guys can watch it and enjoy it too. This is unscripted and candid, so I apologize for the awkwardness and, the various shenanigans. For the first episode, I thought that we could just basically give you a glimpse into us and our varying tastes by talking about our favorite movies and our favorite subgenres. I'll start us off. Okay. Favorite movies, favorite horror movies, obviously. Based on movies that actually scare me, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Saw. Because I'm a big, if it can really happen or I feel like it's, viable, it scares me. It's really that simple. It's realistic. Based on a true story.
Something possibly could happen.
Something that could possibly happen to me. I don't like the idea of waking up chained in a bathroom somewhere.
We'll just not call that a good day.
That freaks me out. It's one of the first, Saw is one of the first movies in a long time, which I know it's very old now, but it was one of the first ones that actually got a visceral reaction out of me. And I guess it's because we watch so much horror that I'm kind of numb to most things. But yeah, that one really, really scared me. Movies that I just enjoyed watching repeatedly, not because they scare me or anything. I like the internet movies, Unfriended, The Den, Rider, etc. And I like really big, as far as fairly recently, Houses That October Built and Houses That October Built.
And those are also in line with the things that could possibly happen.
Because going into a haunted house and the people there actually.
Well, that's us being horror fans. Is we also like things like going to haunted houses, being in those situations, and that's one of those things where you're like, hey, let's go to a few haunted houses, but. Let's not get kidnapped and thrown in a coffin.
Let's not get kidnapped and taken.
And buried alive. Yeah, so we're not going to go looking for any extreme haunts from shady people who are sending us text messages.
But you know that the bad thing is that haunted houses are always in sketchy places anyways. So like,
They do that on purpose though.
Yeah. So you have no choice. And it could happen. Like, it's a legitimate thing is you could, follow the wrong people.
Well, like, for me, going with the category of what we're talking about, I could bring up a few movies from my childhood, but like most recently movies that scared me that I can think of would have to be along the lines of what you said, stuff that could really happen. Because now I'm older, married, I got kids, and that plays in a lot of the aspects of the movies that I watch. Now it's like, God, this is going to take me away from my family, this is going to take me away from my kids. And when I was younger, 18, 20 years old, I didn't care, whatever, okay, it can't happen. And now I think about, this could really happen. One of the movies that brings to mind is like the movie World War Z. It's not really your typical horror movie, but it is horror because it's a zombie movie. But with me, it really struck a chord because it's based on rabies, and how the rabies virus spreads is just a matter of seconds. And that really creeped me out. That movie was good because it happened really fast, and it started with Brad Pitt. And in the first, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens. But if you haven't seen the movie, in the first 3 minutes of the movie, you're like, holy shit, this is great.
Yeah.
Because he's driving through the streets, I think, New York. Is it Los Angeles, New York? some major city like that, and they come to a roadblock, and then it happens. You see one guy bite this other guy, and then in a matter of 10 seconds, it spreads, and just total chaos happens. And I couldn't watch the movie. I turned it on. My wife was pregnant at the time, and she turned it off. It was like, I can't watch it. And one other movie is, like you said, Saw. Like, that movie, it's done by, is it Lionsgate? Lionsgate.
Yeah,
Twisted Pictures, one of my favorite production artists and stuff like that. And that movie just really struck a chord with me also because there is really twisted people out there that are serial killers that actually do that type of stuff. And it's one of those things.
And you only hear about it on
yeah,
the
you hear
news
about it,
and
you never
stuff
see
like that.
it.
And they try to keep it, low profile.
So those are my two movies that are like that just really creep me out. That really scare me because they really can happen. And movies that I watch all the time: Night of the Living Dead, Land of the Dead. Those cheesy Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. Those type of movies I could watch hundreds and hundreds of times.
House of the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cabin in the
Cabin in
Woods.
the
Cabin in the Woods.
That
And I don't know
movie.
why. It's not even. I mean, I agree. I saw a post on Instagram. It was like it's really not even that great of a movie, but
it's the
it is. I don't
the
know
theory
why.
behind it is
It
that
is.
someone's controlling,
everything.
Yeah.
someone's puppeteering it, and it's kind of
And if
Plus the
there's
creatures are really cool.
people out there who's watching that hasn't seen that movie yet, I need to go see it because that movie's really good. It's really cheesy in some parts.
Played
It's
on
really good.
sci-fi.
yeah. They play it on sci-fi
Quite
all the time.
frequently, so you can find it.
But those are a list of some of the movies that I could just watch all the time. And no, you're not very big at watching repeats, but you even like watching
Yeah,
those movies over and over again.
Some of my favorite movies are movies like Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, stuff like that. But the movies that get to me are movies like The Conjuring, or that kind of paranormal aspect where you feel it's there. It could be there, but you don't really know. You can't see it. You can't, something could happen if you're alone and in the dark. That, I don't like the unseen. That's kind of my...
Yeah, that's me too. Unknowing, not knowing what's going to happen.
Right. That's what gets to me. We all love slasher movies because it's we like gore.
The more, the better.
Yeah. And we all watch so many movies. It's ridiculous. Cheesy movies. We love cheesy movies. So it just...
And one thing that you may not know about us that you was leading into is that we watch tons of like horrible B movies on Netflix and Hulu, and we just watch anything that has to do with horror, anything that has to do with could this be scary? Even if it isn't scary, we get a kick out of it because it is a form of entertainment.
Right.
So it is really funny to sit and watch some of the lame horror movies that these people try to make, and you laugh about it and you joke about it, and then we know when a movie's going to be good because we don't make fun of it.
Right.
If we're quiet and we watch it,
completely involved in it.
then that's how we.
We don't play Mystery Science 3000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
Only in our case, it's mystery horror.
Mystery horror 3000.
Definitely, because we are those people that like to point out, like, we just recently watched The Strangers, the second, and they're Ray and I. There are obvious aspects of things that we're like, hey, you should stab that person more than once.
Yeah. like if,
Have we done it?
Yeah.
for people that are watching, like you know what we're talking about because you've been watching the movie and this person's been chased by this killer through this entire movie. Yeah, and they get the opportunity to kill them and they stand there and stare at them while holding the weapon or gun or whatever it is, and then we are the people that are screaming at the TV like fucking shoot him or stab him or hit him more than once or do something. But no, they just stand there and then they die.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, why are you killing me?
Even with that said, and even though I do that, I'm still a sucker for a movie that is, anytime the description starts with 426 college kids take a vacation, usually to somewhere in the woods, and it becomes a fight for survival. I will always watch those. Always. Even though I know they're going to be bad, and I know they're going to have all those Hollywood stereotypes and people do stupid things that I like to think that people in those situations wouldn't actually do. However, I still love watching those movies. She will always add them to their to-watch list on Netflix or Hulu, so that when I come over here, we can sit down and watch it.
Partake of the stupid.
And know it's going to be
And
terrible.
they have become our favorite also because that is the greatest. That's the greatest hour and a half that you can get. And now me and Tiffany and William make fun of me, but I'm a sucker for timelines. For some reason, I feel
2
that
weeks earlier.
if a movie has a timeline, it just for some reason it intrigues me a whole lot better because I'm like, yes, they're telling you what the hell happened before.
What led to this?
And I like movies like that. I like movies that have timelines because I'm that guy that's sitting in the audience like, okay, this is what's happening now, but what the fuck happened 3 minutes ago? Or 2 weeks
How
ago
did we
or whatever.
get here?
How do these people know each other? And it don't even have to be timelines. It could be like explanations that we used to go to college together, or that involves me in the movie a little bit more because, like my wife Tiffany, I have ADD where I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever, and I get bored with the movie. But if something like that brings me in, that and shiny colors, and things that stuff like that draws me like off to like, ooh, it's shiny. I want to watch it. So
Favorite, we've touched on it by choosing our favorite movies, but favorite subgenre.
Ooh,
And there's so many now. It's like music. There's 90,000 different kinds of metal, but like just a broad category, but branching off.
like we had discussed earlier, I think mine would be kind of along the lines of the monsters, Universal monsters, any kind of. I know they're two separate kind of things, but like I said, Hellraiser. Any movies like The Howling, Skinwalkers, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, the older Frankenstein movies, any movies of Frankenstein based off of Mary Shelley's writing. Because I'm an old school, I love Edgar Allan Poe, Lord Byron, Mary Shelley, anything like that. So the older monsters intrigue me. And then the newer monsters kind of stem from monsters. Yeah.
For me, it's I'm a huge Clive Barker buff. I'm big into anything very evil, twisted, weird, occult genres, anything like that, anything paranormal, anything like to do with demonic or exorcisms or anything like that. For some reason, it just intrigues me. Also, like I said, paranormal shows like the movie The Conjuring and Annabelle and Insidious and those type of movies really draw me. Going back to Clive Barker did a whole wide variety of horror films, and I'm just into anything he's ever done, even his books and some horror books that he's done. I've read into them, graphic novels also. Then on the twisted, like the funny twisted side, I've always been a Tim Burton fan. Anything Tim Burton in the early 90s, that's what was me. That was all about me. Beetlejuice, the original Batman Returns, Nightmare Before Christmas.
So anything
all of
like
that stuff, it's just
that has that dark.
Dark and sense of humor, but also kind of funny.
Yeah.
Also
like Army of Darkness, like the Evil Dead.
Yeah, Evil Dead and stuff like that. Yeah, Bruce, like
Bruce
sit.
Campbell.
I could sit all night and talk about subgenres that are just like
Yeah.
me, that are horror, but are not really scary.
Yeah.
That are not like they're
Because-
comedies that
yeah.
like you can watch them and get a kick out of it. Bruce Campbell, I mean
He's the king of that.
he's my guy. You know what I mean?
That'll definitely be an episode later
Yeah.
because I'll have to address the fact that, Coraline, for instance, in my personal opinion, is not a kid's movie, and
No.
it is scary. It
Neil
is a
Gaiman.
scary
Yeah,
movie.
it
When
is.
I was a little kid, that movie
Yeah.
was scary.
Neil Gaiman.
So
He likes to fuck people up
He
in a very
does.
subtle
And some of
manner.
it is. Neil Gaiman is really good at that in graphic novels and in movies. He's not intended for kids and all, but for also, like I've said it a couple times in this video, for people that don't know us, we're all 30
We're
years
not
old.
just movies, though. We all are involved in the subculture outside. Not just movies, graphic novels, anything like that.
Graphic novels like me and you collect horror
Memorabilia.
I collect video games, and it's just we're all in a bunch of everything. We all like that type of.
And you
most of that
also
type of
like
stuff.
the stuff like Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
That's based
Yeah,
off of
based
you guys
off
like
of
based off of video
games and stuff. Yes,
well.
I will sit and watch a movie that is following true to the video game 100% every time. Now there are some instances where I was disappointed. Like, to be honest with you, I love Resident Evil. I like the Resident Evil movies, but they could have done some of them a little bit better, in my opinion. They could have touched a little bit more on it. The one that, and I'm probably going to catch crap for this from a lot of people, but the Silent Hill movies for me were really good. They touched the video games perfect, both of them did. Resident Evil, like I said, I already mentioned that, it's kind of a hit or miss.
Yeah,
The first
it's
two
one of
movies are
those,
good, but
yeah.
the other ones are kind of weird. Pacific Rim, which most people don't know, that's kind of based on Battleship, the game Battleship, so that's kind of neat. Loosely based on that.
And then we'll probably do an episode of just Stephen King because it's hard to not include so many movies from Stephen King because there are so many.
There's so many movies.
And there's so many memorable ones like Shining and It and and those are
Carrie
really
and Christine,
we were really involved in those because those were growing up.
But like I said, all of us are in our 30s. We're kids from the 90s. We wasn't babies in the 90s. We were teenagers in the 90s, and we grew up with a lot of this type of culture. We grew up with this. That's what makes us who we are. That's what I think makes us the good trio because we equal each other out. And
Yeah, we all
what
have
she doesn't like,
separate-
I may like, but but there's a lot of stuff that she likes that I like too. And
Right.
we're all equal in everything.
Like one of Malia's favorite movies is Urban Legends, and that goes to her thing where she's slasher movies. So
So, I feel like we balance each other out, and it makes perfect sense, and it makes me happy that it all ties in together with music because horror and rock and metal kind of go hand in hand. That's my favorite genre of music, and that's my favorite genre of movie.
and then you've got bands like the Murder Dolls that have very specific horror related songs.
Referencing
And
creatures.
we're into that. We're into metal and rock and everything like
We're
that.
just a happy-go-lucky conundrum of like everything sick and twisted with horror, metal. Like we're just a happy-go-lucky family,
This is our family. Come join us.
But also we did our favorite the subgenres and stuff like that. One of the things that kind of makes me as I twitch sometimes, it's kind of funny, is the 9,000 Freddy and Jason movies that they've done.
Oh yeah,
That for some reason
that's because we're going to talk about sequels probably in the very next episode because we just watched, as she mentioned earlier, we just watched the second Strangers.
Yeah.
The second Unfriended movie is coming soon in July. The new Halloween movie's coming out this year, and
Oh, we do.
and the next Devil's Rejects sequel is also coming out soon. So I figured there will be plenty to discuss
Oh yeah.
and plenty of time to talk about
Plenty of
sequels.
Sequels is going to be like on the back burner.
Yeah, we may have to wait a little while until we see some of the new ones so we can talk about those too. But with that being said, if there's anything that sounds like something you think we would like, be sure to comment and let us know that we should watch it.
Definitely.
And we will have links to our various social medias below. We will also have a link to my blog that deals with music. I'm just now starting to write about movies on it, but it's mostly music at the moment, reviews and such. Because I am going to start doing interviews with bands on this channel, as well as these horror discussions with these two. So be sure to click the subscribe and give me some likes, please. That would be great. And share the video, send it to your friends if they're into this kind of thing. And I guess we'll see